The Naira has seen major fluctuations in the last year. At the time of this recording, the official exchange rate stands at 1,531 Naira 0.06 Kobo from 1,495 Naira 0.34 Kobo just in the last 2 weeks. This fluctuation in prices has major implications for the short-term rental industry in Nigeria, and here's why. Most Airbnb hosts peg their price against the US dollar to maintain consistent revenue and also maintain consistency in pricing. Now, when the Naira depreciates against the dollar or against the British pound, the bookings basically become more expensive for them. Now, this has led to a shift. More Airbnb hosts now target international travelers so that they can stay afloat. With the Naira becoming weaker, many short-term operators are now seeing increased bookings from international travelers, the business travelers, digital nomads, and even expatriates. But here's the downside. Local travelers are struggling to make these bookings. And the reason is very simple. Naira is depreciating against the dollar. So for example, an apartment that 30,000 Naira could book for a night can no longer be booked at 30,000 Naira. You will have to account for that depreciation by increasing your budget to say 35,000 Naira, even a 40,000 Naira budget. Local travelers are struggling to keep up with this. Now here's a pro tip for short-let operators in Nigeria. Consider giving discounted prices for your apartments in Naira. Now, not just guests are feeling the heat, even hosts are also feeling this heat. And here's how. A number of the things that the host need for the apartment to run efficiently are usually imported from out of Nigeria. So what this means is, as the Naira depreciates, the value of these items also increase. Now here's a pro tip for hosts. Consider getting most of your supplies from the Nigerian market. As much as possible, avoid getting some of these items from outside of Nigeria, because when you do that, you'll have to bear the cost of the import duty, the cost of, basically the cost of getting things from outside of Nigeria into Nigeria, which will also in turn affect the costs that your guests will eventually pay, because you have to break even, you have to make a profit. What can hosts and guests do to make sure that both parties are getting a good deal at the end of the day? For hosts, the first is market your apartment to a lot of international travelers. Since you know that these international travelers don't have issues with making their payments in forex, in dollars, for example, as much as possible, market to them. Now, for local travelers, make sure that you are giving them reasonable discounts, something that would be enticing enough to get them to book your apartment. What can guests do? Book well in advance. If you expect to make a trip in 1 month, begin to make your bookings now. Begin to make researches for apartments that offer great discounts and that are within your budget. Another thing you could also do is use payment cards that offer great exchange rates. Wonderful exchange rates that can also fit within your budget. So what do you think? Will this fluctuation in the Naira exchange rate affect the Nigerian short-term rental industry? Let me know what your thoughts are. Drop them in the comment section.